Hello and a warm welcome to my channel. AMS, ask me a stock and I cover it for you from a long, medium to short term perspective based on the studies of harmonic trading patterns and Ichimoku multi-time frame analysis. Now, disclaimer before I move ahead, this is not a trading or investing advice to you. This is purely an educational talk based on the studies of Ichimoku and harmonics. Please do your study properly before taking a final decision on the stock we are going to discuss today. Also, note no monetary fee or any kind of obligation has been asked for this video. Now, today's talk is RITES, PSU, from the mid cap space, a leading player in the transport and infrastructure consultancy and engineering services with its operations across 55 countries in the world. Now, some of the strengths and weaknesses of RITES, uh, it operates in many infrastructure sectors like mainly railway, highways, airports, uh, and seaports. So diversification has helped it, in case one sector slows down. Consultancy business is an asset light, high margin business. So it helps in the bottom line quite considerably. Exports are to 55 countries, so a wider presence for the for the company, and it is also got a very low to negligible debt, healthy cash flows, and a high dividend payout stock. However, there are some weaknesses also. Number one, mainly that its dependence on government railway orders. So basically, it has got an exposure to policy risk and budget cycles. The EPC projects are low margins compared to consultancy and businesses. In case there is a more shift towards EPC from consultancy, export risk, geopolitical risk, government line of credit, currency risk, all those factors. And finally, as per some research broking houses, the current valuation is at its at its peak. They don't think it is at any lower valuation or it's not cheap at all. So any risk in financials from here could see the stock correcting according to the research broking houses. Now, before I go on to discuss the charts with you, let me let you know that my courses on harmonic trading patterns, Ichimoku, and trading psychology risk management are available. These are made in both English and Hindi and are extremely detailed, chapter wise, level wise, with lots and lots of examples of breakout, breakdown, pullback, identification of support resistance, comparison of multi-time frame, and accordingly taking a low risk entry based on all that. The trading psychology and risk management is extremely detailed and explained, and again in small chapters, along with some bonus material, because most traders tend to lose, and that's what we've been hearing from SEBI year on year, because basically analysis is overrated. My trading discipline is underrated. So I worked a lot on that aspect. The course has got bonus material number one, which some other technical studies which complement harmonics and Ichimoku, which help you in lowering your risk and increasing confirmation and trail mechanism on at any given stage of time, which sector is looking good and which sector is looking weak, and accordingly within the sector which stocks are looking strong and weak. So kind of a relative rotation of sectors and stocks. Number three, at any given point of time, and also based on your own risk profile, which option strategy will suit you. And finally, SWOT analysis, that is a self-assessment kit which tells you to periodically check yourself that what are your strengths where you should continue to focus on, what are your weaknesses where you need to work, what are your opportunities to improvise on, and threats, areas or certain segments, certain kind of trading in the market which may not suit you, may be doing well for someone else, may not for you, which you should stay away from. So the description and the details of the courses are there in the description link. You can check it out. And if you have any doubts and queries, you can send me an email and I will revert back to you on the same. So let's go and analyze this stock. So I'm going to start as usual from the higher time frame. You can see a 2019 listing for the stock, and pretty good move has taken place in the stock since then. But after 2024, we've seen overall entire market got corrected from September, October 2024. But this one started correcting much earlier. And like I had spoken about in the fundamental aspect, that a lot due to government policy change and budget cycles, the stock gets impacted on that. And we've seen a decent correction now, from the this swing on a 62% retracement has taken place for the stock. And right now, even though above the Ichimoku cloud, but we have a bearish TK crossover structured right here. The support is coming in at 220, while the resistance is at 290 and then 315. If 220 does not hold, then down to 200, maybe 175, also possible for the stock going forward. Let's have a look at the weekly time frame and further analyze what lies out here for the stock. Now, in the weekly, you can see kind of a parallel channel going on for the stock out here since it started correcting in Jan 2024 onwards. And it's hit the channel once, twice, three times, fourth. So if we don't see the stock, moving back up from here, it could then try to hit some lower point out here to complete a channel, but that is completely not mandatory for it to do it. Yes, it can if there is persistence of weakness for it. The weekly structure, the support is coming in at 240, and then down all the way to this gap area, which is at 210, which I'll show you in the daily time frame. The resistance is at 265 and then at 305 for the stock, 265, 305 on the upside. Let's have a look at the daily time frame and get a proper picture out here. Now, in the daily time frame, before I go and go into the Ichimoku detail, there is a possibility of a bullish harmonic Gartley pattern near 220. Now, this does not mean that the stock is going to come directly here. It need not, the pattern need not form, and the stock could also continue its upward journey like this at the same time, but it is there. So because the price is not very far from it, one can keep an alert that in case it comes near 220, which is also our monthly major support for the stock. So 220 is something on the downside, which is very important, the bullish Gartley. If that is provided, current levels of 245 as per the Ichimoku structure, 245 or 240 are violated, 238, sorry, then we would be looking for 220. Failure to hold 215, this gap area, this gap made on out here on the on 12th of May would then get covered. Failure to hold that would make this bullish Gartley negated, and it would then pull its way down to that 175, 200, 175, which is the other levels. On the upside, on the daily time frame, there is resistance at 260, and then all the way at this parallel channel level of 275 for the stock. So my conclusion and reading of the stock is that either to be aggressive on the long side, I would like to either see this sustain above this trend line here at 275, or I would like to take an attempt on it near 220 where the bullish Gartley is. Keep 215 as my stop loss in that case, maximum 210, because then if we are talking about much further downside, and then recovery can also be very, very tough for the stock going forward in that case. So two levels I would be looking for a trigger, either here or here at the Gartley or the trend line. The upsides I would be looking for the stock, if as and when it were to happen, would be 350 and then all the way to maybe 450, 500 also going forward in the medium to long term. So currently not at a very good level in my reading. maybe going forward on breakout or on the Gatle, some good risk reward setups could come in the stock. So I do hope this video is of help to you. So please do like the video, share it, and do subscribe to the channel if you haven't till now. Until then, all the best with your trading and investing.